So we have covered on the channel the Gotway or Begode EXN High Speed, and I own also the Begode or Gotway EXN High Torque. And for the last month I've been reviewing and testing the Extreme Bull Commander High Speed and the Extreme Bull Commander High Torque. Which one of these wheels are my favorite? If you want to know everything about it, stay tuned until the end of the video. Hi everyone, Marcus here from MADpack, and if you love EUCs, PVs and everything that have an E of electricity, this is the place for you. And this was the second most interesting comparison that you guys asked me after the Veteran Abrams against the Commander High Speed. I have already covered why I don't like the Commander High Torque, so feel free to check that video. It doesn't make any sense in 2022, and for that big reason, don't buy the Commander High Torque. But today we are going to bring this one up and put side by side, or not side by side because I don't have it here, I have it in Portugal, not in the UK, mine, but we'll be able to understand why I will definitely, as a disclaimer, swap my EXN High Torque for this one, but in the same time I have some concerns about it. Let's dive down on this. So looking to the Gotway or Begode EXN, I really love the EXN High Speed. That wheel was simply amazing in the time that came out. Like I said before, I thought that the EXN High Speed will be the saver of Gotway after all these fires and all these things that was happening. That wheel was really, really special. But today we are going to talk about this amazing wheel that, in my opinion, is the best wheel that Gotway have produced until today. I also really enjoy the EX and all that sensation of having an extra boost when you ride in a different way with the wheel. So I also have covered that in another video where I explain how to ride a heavier wheel. Take that extra power that is simply feels like you enter in a sport car and you turn on the nitro. I'm not kidding. It's like that. The feeling that you have is you have a speed that is already quite significant, and suddenly you just do that and the wheel just speed it up so fast and take it out all the juice that you have from that wheel. So if you don't have seen that video, definitely check them out, because there is a specific way that you can ride to take more profit of your wheel that I find out reviewing that one. But after owning the EXN, the Begode or Gotway EXN High Torque, and having this one, I have to say that until a certain point I will swap my EXN High Torque for this one. When we talk about build construction, I have to say to you guys, they are very, very close to each other. Even if I feel that this one is a notch better than the one that you have on the EXN, but this wheel have a big but. I have already said multiple times, if you live in a hot country, don't buy the Commander. The Commander High Torque or the Commander High Speed. They go up in temperature very, very easily. These wheels, they have something very, very common. So if you look to the front light, is rubbish in both of them. If you look to the tire, they are exactly the same. But I found out that this wheel rides much better than the EXN if you have the EXN with an off-road tire. If you are on the EXN, it's much harder to do some curves. It's a wheel that just wants to be completely straight. And when you are using the EXN Torque, because of this tire, and when you go fast, it's much harder to curve, so you need all the help in the world. This is closer to that, but you continue to be able to curve. Not obviously like the Veteran Abrams. Even if it's the biggest one and it's the heaviest one, it's much easier to curve with this one than with the EXN High Torque or the Commander. And that is all because of the tire. If you change the tire on the EXN and you put like a sport tire, you are going to have a much more nimble wheel. This wheel have some caveats that I prefer on the EXN. So the first thing is I like to have a kill switch. The cut switch is really good, is really responsive. I really like it, but the shape of the handle is simply horrible. Once again, it's the same that happens with the Gotway Nikola. So if you need to put this inside the train or whatever, you need to turn off, grab it, lift it and put it inside the train. So that is one more step if you need to carry around with this one. When we talk to the top, obviously here you have a screen that is basically on the top of the Commander. On the EXN you have a screen on the front, and both solutions are completely garbage. This one you can be a notch better if you put some tape on top of the screen, and in that way you are able to see what you are doing or how fast you are going. On the EXN High Torque, that just happened, if you are riding with your wheel during the night. Have that in mind, and even the position is quite accurate. Even if it's weird, the position of that screen, it's a bit easier to access when you are riding at night. So have that in mind if screen is something important for you. When we talk about speakers, I have to say to you guys that is better on this one that is on the Gotway or Begode EXN. This is my second favorite speakers. My favorites are from the eMotion V12. I like just that the eMotion V12 have more bass as you find on this one, but the eMotion V12 it brings you sound from the front, from the back, so you can give sound to someone that is just riding with you, but also you hear quite well. You are going to find, and it's quite loud, all the beeps in both, for example, even the Abrams and this one, they start carrying more of the position where is the beep of the wheel. I definitely don't like these pedals, but they are better than the pedals that you'll find on the EXN High Torque. And they are quite big, yes, I like that, but they are rubbish once again. So I really don't get it. How it's possible, obviously, because this comes from Begode, basically. They have very good pedals, and why they've done this, I don't get it. Those closing mechanisms are garbage on the EXN High Torque. These pedals, they are broken, so they have changed the design on the pedals, and now you have a piece of metal there that basically was putting these pedals in place, and it's not happening anymore. If you have the Grizzly pads, it's easy that you'll fit them, because these ones normally, if you shake it a bit, they will fall off. But in this case, with my Grizzly pads, they don't go anywhere because they are basically grabbing these pedals. So something that is not so much a problem if you are using some power pads like the Grizzly pads. If you want, they are 5% off on the channel, so feel free to use it. But when we talk about visibility in the road, I have to give once again the price to the Commander, because you have LEDs on the front, you have LEDs on the back, and that doesn't happen on the EXN High Torque or High Speed. And when we talk about the handle, definitely the handle that you'll find on the Begode or EXN High Torque High Speed is basically pure rubbish. It's horrible, and the one on mine is completely broken, as you know. When I receive it, the Bluetooth speakers are broken, the handle is broken, the outside shell is broken. The inner shell, I believe, is not broken, but not 100% sure. Overall, everything else is riding properly. And by the way, also these pedals, they are broken. This one, it's okay. It's not amazing, but it do the job and it stays in place. And it's a bit flimsy, but not as much as you'll find on the veteran Abrams. So also something else to have in mind. This handle, it's much better than the handles that you find on Begode wheels. So definitely a pro, and is much more sturdy than the handle that you'll find on the Sherman Abrams that I simply hated. But the biggest problem that you'll find on the Commander is definitely the high temperature. I have to say to you guys that I don't like that, and I feel that it's very easy just to hit this on the floor and this can open to the sides. Obviously the EXN, also those front lights, they are very easy to remove and to put it back. So also if you have a crash, I believe that you are going to damage that, so have also that in mind. And another thing that I prefer on the Commander than on the EXN is that I can sit comfortably, something that you can't do on your EXN. That is also not even comparable between the two. The main reason why I choose the Commander is because of the way that it rides. I feel much more connected with this one. I don't have to think what I'm doing, but the high temperatures can be a big issue for you. Here, I never passed the 47, 48 degrees. The EXN, I simply love it. It was very enjoyable, and it's really enjoyable in Portugal with that tire. I always feel that the wheel doesn't want to go anywhere, so that's good when you go off-road. But in the same time, if you want to just curve, you need to put that extra effort that I felt that I don't have to do with this one. And it's incredible how a wheel with 35, 36 kilos, so even heavier than the EXN, feels on the road. Obviously this one you need to drop quite a lot the PSI. I covered that on the full review. These new wheels, they've been having an issue that I've been experiencing in the Abrams, in the Commander, and that is related with the PSI. If you like to ride very high PSIs on your tires, you don't damage the rim, just skip the Commander. I tried all kind of PSIs on this wheel, from 16 PSI to 32 PSI. So that also can be an issue for you if you are concerned about jumping around and damaging your rim. Also the rims on the EXN, they are not the best, so have that also in mind, because the EXN High Torque, no, High Speed that I had here, the rim gets damaged. If you have to pick one of the two, this is my choice. I'll pick it up, the Commander High Speed. Let me know in the comments below which one of the two you prefer or do you think that is the best, and if you have ride both of them. And if you have any comparisons that you would like me to cover on the channel, feel free also to comment below. My name is Marco, this is MADpack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face, and I hope to see you in the next one.